Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and today I just wanted to talk briefly about some sad news in the comic book world, the local comic book world here in Eastern Massachusetts, and that is that one of the premier comic stores in the area is closing. It's Outer Limits in Waltham, Mass. Has announced that they're going to be closing at the end of July. Outer Limits is like an iconic store for the area. It opened back in the early 80s, over 40 years ago, and is jam packed with all sorts of collectibles, but primarily of interest to us, of course, vintage comic books. There's all sorts of other vintage stuff in there, novels and magazines and all sorts of like really cool stuff. But the back issue selection that they have there is just about unparalleled. As you know, I've been trying to hit up all the comic stores that I can get to in Massachusetts and New England and everywhere. And I've gone to probably, I forget now, but 70 stores maybe at this point since I started my YouTube channel. And I would put Outer Limits right up there, top 10 for sure, probably a top 5 store that I visited. It's not too far from my house, so I have been there a couple times. I'm going to have links in the description down below to the previous videos, the haul videos where you can see some of my previous trips, me talk about Outer Limits. Um, and it's just, it's a sad thing that's, of course, happening more and more. More comic book stores closing all the time. The local comic stores just not doing that great. In this case, the owner, Steve Higgins, who's basically been a one-man operation there as long as I've been going, and has been running the store again for over 40 years. He's basically decided to retire. He said he'd still be doing some shows and selling stuff online, but the store is going to be closing as he goes into retirement. Last day, I think, if I'm remembering right, I just read this, I should remember, it was July 31st of 2026. So I'm going to make it a priority to get down there at least once, maybe a couple times between now and then, because it's just sad to see it go. And every time I go down there, I get all sorts of cool stuff. Like I said, you can watch the videos, but there's also some stuff that I got for some trips, like before I started doing the YouTube channel, that I didn't have a chance to show off or talk about. But every time I go there, I find great stuff. For instance, some of the stuff that I found in the past that I think was before I started my YouTube channel, I got a pretty hard to find Matt Baker romance comic for $10 there. I found some great stuff in the 50-cent bins over the years. A really nice high grade Marvel Superheroes #8, first appearance of Squirrel Girl, I got in a 50-cent bin. A really low grade but complete copy of Betty and Veronica 320, the first appearance of Cheryl Blossom. Again, I got that out of a 50-cent bin. And then in my videos, you'll see a bunch of other cool stuff that I've gotten. Archies and romance, a lot of ACG. They carry a lot of stuff, Dells and things that you don't really see at most comic stores anymore. Whole boxes of underground books, and any publisher you can think of that's defunct, you have it. You can get it there. I get lots of romance and horror and genre books, war books, stuff like that. It was at Outer Limits that I got my copy of Adventures in the Unknown 58, the classic robot cover. I got a really good deal on it there. I think I paid $40 for it. And like, just every time I go, setting aside the bargains that I've found there, it's really just the books, because those are books you're not seeing anywhere. And I've just found so many cool old books from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s there that you just don't see anywhere else. So again, I'm going to try and make sure to get down there, but it's just it's always sad when a store closes. I just wanted to spend a couple minutes talking about it. Like I said, I will be posting more videos as I visit here before it ends, and at least one last trip to find one last cool batch of stuff. So that's it for today. I did want to just mention real quick, we're almost to 1,300 subscribers now. I think we're at 1,296. I'll have the link down below to the video. When we get to 1,300, we're going to give away a box of a random mystery box of old comics. And all you need to do is watch the announcement video and subscribe and leave a comment on there asking me a question. and I'll spin the wheel when we get to 300. Hopefully the next week or two we'll hit, to 1300. We'll hopefully get there. So go ahead and sign up for that and ask me questions if you haven't. And I'll also do a video where I answer everybody's questions when I get to 1300. So you can check that out there. And again, I'm sorry I haven't been able to get to much content recently. Again, having a lot of health issues that unfortunately are still lingering. But I'm going to try and have some more stuff, some content that I've promised already. Additionally, just yesterday as I'm recording this, I got back from this year's Aresia science fiction convention here in Boston. There was a really robust comics track, so I attended a lot of panels with a lot of discussion about and debate about different comic book topics. So I'm going to do a whole video on that. I also bought a few things from the dealer's room, so I'll have a whole convention report later this week to get into that. And then hopefully by next week, I've got a new batch of my comics coming. Cthulhu vs. Uncle Sam #3 is in the mail right now as I'm recording this. So once I get that, I'll do my usual unboxing video to show everybody that stuff. So that's all coming up in the next couple weeks. And then hopefully I can start getting back on track, back to 2 videos a week. But, knock on wood, we'll see how I'm feeling. But anyway, that's it for now. Let me know what you think down below. I'll see you next time.